Hi everyone, so today's video is going to be all about the Morphe Sweet Oasis 35 color eyeshadow palette. So this is what the packaging looks like. It's really cute. It's like a sunset vibe. These are all the colors inside. There are neutrals, pinks, and blue colors. So to start off my look, I went in with the P. Louise Mama Mitchell blank canvas base. When this collection launched, it also came with a 6-piece brush set, and that is what this looks like. I did use all the brushes in my look today. So the first brush that I went in with was the second brush, and I dipped into the shade called Picture Perfect. So my rule when I do my eyeshadow is that I always pack on as much color as I can, and then I either use the same brush to slightly blend it out, or then I take another smaller brush with a lighter shade and blend it out. So with this color, I'm just packing it into a round shape, basically mimicking the shape of my eye, making it a little bit more round, but I'm not really doing any sort of blending. I'm just packing the color on. So the next brush that I went in with was the third brush, and I went in with the shade called Private Villa, which is just a lighter pink shade to once again help blend the darker pink shade that we just went in with. And for this, I'm just using round circular motions and working my way all the way around that darker pink shade, and I'm also bringing it up a little bit closer to my brow bone, but not quite touching it, and leaving some space with just the base. Now I'm gonna go ahead and cut my crease. So to do this, I took a Q-tip and I dipped it in some micellar water, and then I just kind of carved out where exactly I wanted to cut my crease, which in this case I chose the inner portion of my eye all the way to the middle portion. So next I went back in with that blank canvas base, and now I am taking the 5th brush in the collection and I'm using that to apply the blank canvas to where I just carved out my crease. Now I'm going in with the 6th brush, a part of the collection, and I went in with the color called Island Hop, which is just a very minty shimmery color, and I placed this color on the first inner half of my eye, and basically I just tapped into the color and kind of pressed it onto the base because it was still wet, which is what you want to get the most pigment out of it. And you can also choose to spray your brush with setting spray to get even more pigment out of it, but this palette was already pigmented, so I didn't need to do that. And now I'm just going in with that same exact brush, just wiping it off, and I'm dipping into the shade called Reef Dive, which is just a darker blue shimmer, and I'm applying it to the center of my eye, also blending it into the previous shade just a little bit. Now I'm using the 4th brush that's in the collection, and I'm going in with the shade called Vineyard Escape, which is just a really dark plum color, and I'm sweeping this color in the outer corner, and I'm slightly blending it up to the first shade that we applied, making sure that it's also blended into that blue color that we just applied before this. Now moving on to the lower lash line, I'm taking that same second brush that we used earlier and I'm going back in with that shade Picture Perfect, and I'm sweeping that all throughout the lower lash line. Now to blend out Picture Perfect, I'm going in with that third brush and I'm using the shade Private Villa again, and I'm sweeping that directly under the shade Picture Perfect. Now using the fourth brush, I'm going back in with Vineyard Escape, and I'm only putting that on the outer portion of my lower lash line as I did on the top as well. Now for my inner corner highlight, I took the first brush in the set and I dipped into the color called Champagne on Ice, and I just applied that to my inner corner and my brow bone. Now I'm almost finished with my eyes. I next went in with the One Size Beauty liner pen in Bodacious Black by Patrick Starr, and then I went in with Benefit Roller Lash Mascara. Then I went ahead and also applied Yammy's Boutique Lashes in the number 33. And now I'm going in with NYX's Epic Wear Liner in Turquoise Storm, and I'm just applying this to my waterline, only on the bottom. You can also tightline with this shade, which is just the waterline that is on the top part of your eye, but I chose not to. And now this is what the Morphe Sweet Oasis Mini Lip Gloss Trio looks like. I'm just showing you guys the packaging. Obviously, I only used one of the glosses, but here are all of the swatches. So the first shade is Shimmy. Then we have the shade Groupie. And lastly, the shade Tipsy. So to line my lips, I went in with the Morphe lip liner in the shade Sweet Tea. The gloss that I picked from the trio for today's look was the shade Tipsy, and now I'm just going to go ahead and apply that by blending it in the middle, and then I took the tip of the wand and sort of blended the lip liner into the gloss so that it didn't look like my lips were outlined. So this is the final look. This was the first look that I did with this palette, and now after filming this I have used it a couple more times, and I do have to say that I really do enjoy this palette, so I would definitely recommend at least picking up the palette, but if you can, definitely snag the whole collection. I really enjoyed it. Until next time, bye!